Hey JP, what's up, dude? How you doing? Oh, Genki Desu Ka. What does that mean? Well, same to you. Same to you, brother. Uh, Good. What about you? I'm good. Doing pretty good. Pretty happy that the 22 won the tuning of the year. So pretty happy about that. Kind of bummed out though, cause not related to that. They hired a new piano teacher at my job, and I've been complaining to them for months about needing more students. That's all you're doing. Hey, universe, what's up, dude? And what do you mean it was all you're doing? No, they didn't fire me, but I've been complaining at where I teach that like I need more students, and like they were like, okay, well we're gonna try to get you. And I gave them a specific number. I told them I need 45 a month at like a minimum, and like I'm on the schedule to max out at 60, and like they literally had someone telling me, okay, we're trying to like get all the teachers more students. We're not hiring more teachers. And then like we got an email today, and the boss said that they hired a new teacher for Sundays, a piano teacher on Sundays. And I'm there on Sundays, and my schedule is I have 5 openings on Sunday. It's like I have half a day I could fill up, and they're hiring another teacher. And so I'm like pretty aggravated about that. I messaged the boss right away, but he probably won't respond until like tomorrow. Carly Ann from Lumitone replied she was sick for a while. You might release a video with the broken lights though. Oh, I see. Yeah, I mean, if I was you, I would post the video, or actually, if it was me, I might just post a video of the Lumitone with the broken keys and be like, this is what Lumitone does. They break and then nobody fixes it. I'm seriously, I would probably do that. Like my life is gonna be completely different basically, because you clutched up for 22. Unless someone, what do you mean? Yeah, 22 had a big lead by the end. I know Variable voted, and then I think when I went to bed yesterday, it had a 2-point lead, a 2-vote lead, but it won with like a 4 or 6 vote lead. So it came out. It was still relatively close, but 22 definitely came out ahead in the end. So I'm kind of glad. Yeah, I'm glad about it for sure. Like about that, I'm pretty glad. I'm glad tuning of the year worked out. I'm glad 22 got picked. But yeah, like that email I saw today, like the new teacher, like I'm like super bummed out, and like I need more students so badly, and I'm like delivering food again, and I'm gonna be doing this for months just to save up to get a Lumitone. And it's like I could just, if I literally had like 5 or 10 more students, like it would probably be enough to put away the same amount of money. But the problem with working at these studios is like they don't really care about any of the individual teachers. They just like want to have as many rooms filled at one time as possible. So they would rather have a bunch of teachers there that get a few students, so that everyone can so that all the rooms can be filled up for like 2 hours. when everybody wants to, because everybody wants to sign up around the same times. And then like, if you have, like, I do have quite a few students, but like, they don't, so they don't care to like give me what I'm actually asking for, because they're like, oh well, we have a bunch of teachers here with who only have a couple students. We have so many teachers here who only have 10 students. Like, we have blah blah blah. But like, that's really besides the point. Like, most of those people are like not doing it that, you know what I mean? They're not really that involved as teachers. Like, I'm not saying they're not good teachers or anything. I'm just saying they usually have like another source of income and they just teach on the side. But like, for me, it's a primary source of income. So have I tried doing online courses? I mean, I would. That was part of what I was thinking I could do through this channel. I was hoping, but nobody's watching this channel, so. I could put some ads out or whatever. It's just I've tried this before and it like never, like, I don't have a space to teach. I don't really like doing online lessons. I would way rather do it in person, but I guess I could do online lessons. I really don't like doing online lessons. It's really annoying. I know about 5. It just really sucks. I'm like don't have enough money to even like put into my self to like make more money. Like, Lumitone's kind of trendy right now, so like, if I had a Lumitone, I would probably get more views on the stream and on my content, and like, if I had one, I'd probably learn how to use it like really quickly, because I already can play piano. I already play an isomorphic instrument. Like, I would just have to figure out the Lumitone a little bit and get used to the ergonomics of it. But like, I'm literally just, I can't do it because I don't have $4,000. That's the only reason. It's the only thing stopping me, and it's like, I can't. It just sucks being poor, because you just get stuck being poor. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like, nobody helps you. Like, all the business owners fucking going on vacation and like doing yoga retreats, and is like barely even there. And then he takes more than half of what the lessons cost. I mean, it's just everything is bullshit, man. Like, this is why like people are gonna rise up and like basically, like, the people are gonna get so frustrated. Because all the people with money don't give a shit about the people who don't. And they're like glad. They're just glad it's not them. And they'll just do everything they can to make sure it isn't them. It kind of doesn't make sense. Like, How do you take over 50% of what a lesson costs and you have like almost no involvement in the actual lesson? Like even 50% is kind of unreasonable when you really think about it, but I can kind of rationalize that because like they're providing the space, they're doing the advertising, but they're not actually teaching the student. Like I'm teaching the student. Like the students are there to see me. They're not there to, you know what I mean? Like honestly, I could do all the scheduling. Like it's not. I've done a lot more scheduling. I've done a lot of scheduling on my own. I really just need the space. Like that's the biggest thing. Scheduling's not even that hard. Like why would you take out half of the? You know what I mean? It's like it's just unreasonable. You just get shafted. I mean, I don't think they all are. Like, I used to work at a place where they gave you 50%, and every time they raised the rates, they gave you 50%, and it didn't matter. I thought that was fine. Like, I was okay with that. Like, I still think 50% is a little steep, but I think you should at least make half. Like, maybe if you've been there for a while, you should get more than half, you know what I mean? But like, I think half is like a good starting amount. Like, it's absurd. Like, there's no way the overhead costs that much. Like, I was thinking about like how much they're making, like getting more than half of the price of every lesson. Like, they have like over 20 teachers there. And it's like, there's no way their rent is like that much, you know what I mean? I mean, it's obviously not that much. Like the owner like goes on vacation. He's been on like 2 or 3 vacations this year. It's only February. Alright, I can't do this song. It's recommend Fiverr. You see people with 5 stars that do 1-hour lessons for $25. That's super cheap, dude. I'm not doing a $25 lesson. For a full hour, that's insane, dude. Maybe I'll do a $50 lesson. I mean, do people do $50 lessons on there? That's literally like a joke, dude. That's like not. I've been teaching a long time, man. I haven't. And the economy is way different now than when I started. Like 25 is like what I charged. I think when I first gave a piano lesson, I charged $15 for a half hour. That would have been $30 an hour. And that was over 10 years ago. $15 then was like comparable to $25 now. So I charged like double that then. That's when I first started. And I was just teaching out of my house. Common sense. You built yourself a home that you could feel safe in, but you still feel the stirring in your chest. What could your dreams be trying to tell you? Could you really believe all of this? You make 22 US an hour? Well, are you just starting out? I mean, if you're a beginner teacher and they're getting you all the students, I still think you're getting underpaid, but I don't think that's too bad. I don't think it's that bad. I mean, it depends on how old you are. Like when I was, I don't know, when I was in my early 20s, I think $20 an hour. I think that's what I made at my first teaching gig was $20 an hour. And I think they bumped it up to 25 before I left. But again, this was before COVID. It was before the inflation got really bad. So it felt like more. And my rent was like $675 a month for a 3-bedroom house with this massive space on the back of it. Like things were a lot different back then. I mean, granted, it was in the hood, but I mean, I kind of lucked out on that house regardless. That wasn't like a typical situation, but yeah, I could live off of that. Like in my situation at the time, it was fine. And if you're living with your parents or have roommates or have really cheap rent for whatever reason, that's probably fine, But and when you're first starting out, you can't really expect to make a whole lot of money because people don't really trust you yet. But it also depends on where you live. Like I live in Atlanta, like it's an expensive city. I didn't live in Atlanta before. I lived in Savannah, which is way cheaper. I mean, granted, it's kind of expensive to live there now, depending on what part of town you live in, but it's still nothing compared to Atlanta. So, for where I'm at, like $20 an hour to teach is like, I just wouldn't do it. I mean, if my only alternative was to Uber and I was guaranteed like a certain number of students, I didn't have to like set aside like 20 hours of my week to like only end up teaching 5 of those hours. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do something like that. If I was guaranteed a certain number of students, then and I had nothing else going on, maybe I would do it. I probably would, but yeah, it's there's more to it than that, but just in general, like I wouldn't do that now, but I've been teaching a long time now, not a super long time, but yeah, I've been teaching like shit. How old am I? 37. I've been teaching like 15 years or something. Let me just start some over. Videos on composing tips. That's an interesting idea. Since you bring it up, do you mind, like, if I ask, like, what is there something like stuff like that? I really don't know what would be a good topic, for instance. Like, is there something you wonder about watching me do what I do? Like, is there a question you have? Like, I could even maybe I could use something on your mind as like to to give me an idea. Because I don't know, composing's so vast. Like, it's really hard to say. Like, what do you mean? I don't know what tips people. The other thing is like I don't know if insular is the right word, but I'm very like solitary in my like I've definitely like collaborated with a lot of other people, and I'm aware of like other people's composing process and stuff, but I've definitely learned a lot from other people, but I don't have like formal training in it. And my attitude on it has always sort of been like you just kind of figure it out as you go along. So it's hard for me to, I don't know. That's a that's a cool thought though. I like that. I like that idea. I don't really know where to go with it. I'll definitely think about it though. That's kind of interesting. I mean, because yeah, I love composition. I love composing. That's why I make music. That's why I'm a musician to begin with. So, like chord progressions, making melodies, how to voice chords. The last one is something you want to know more about. Making melodies. Man, these are all like deep questions. That's the thing, is like I feel like it's hard to put that kind of stuff in a YouTube video. I know there's YouTube videos out there about this stuff, but a lot of them are so cheesy, and I don't know how helpful they are because it's not the sort of stuff I use. But I don't know. Like really, when you bring that up, like the thing I like to think about and would want to talk about, I feel like would be like talking about form. And like there's a lot of like stuff I think is interesting structurally in music, but I don't know that I have anything really to say about it other than, oh, I did this and I think it's cool because it's different. Like it's all kind of like, I'm just like proud of this thing for some random reason most people won't understand. Like I've always wanted to talk about this. Like that line. Oh, this is so out of tune. That line. Because it's like non-octave repeating scale, and it's all in like quintuplets. But then I start talking about it, I'm like, who cares? Like, so what? Chord progressions, making melodies, how to voice chords. How to voice chords. How to voice chords. I mean, well, are you familiar with like what's a good... Man, that's such a big question. And the thing is like, it's not really anything... It's not always something I'm very deliberate about. How to voice chords. So much of it is subjective. I will say, like, I think for me personally, like, when it comes to like more sophisticated chords, like jazzier chords, I used to gravitate towards like stacking thirds all the time. Especially like trying a new chord. And that can sound really cool, actually. It's not like bad or anything. But a lot of times you get a nicer voicing if you don't just stack the thirds and kind of spread it out a little more. I don't know, I actually kind of like this more. Yeah, I don't know that I really have anything to offer on that. Like, how do I voice? I don't even know how I voice a chord. Like, I have so many chords. Like, I like these chords because they're dissonant on the top, but the overall impression is like sort of joyful because of the chord qualities. Yeah, I don't know that that's a strong suit of mine. Like, I've always thought I would like to talk about composition, but, you know, I teach piano, and like, no, hardly anyone ever asks me about it. And then when they do, it's usually like they show me something they're working on, and then I'll like give them advice on that specific piece, or like I'll just kind of ramble about form. Like, I did a songwriting class and I talked about form a little bit and like how it relates to lyrics and how to voice chords. I don't know, I think my approach is kind of idiosyncratic. Like, generally speaking, people tend to do a lot of like movement by fourth or by fifth. But I do a lot of like I do a lot of movement by like thirds. I'm not unique in that respect. It's kind of a more modern thing to do these kind of weak chord movements. They're almost like more modally based. Like, I don't do a whole lot of like 5-1 kind of stuff. Although occasionally I'll still do it, but I do a lot of like, I have a chord kind of palette. So like in that song, I like, it's all in A, and I want to move down a third. Like, I do a lot of movement by third, but instead of just going straight down, I'll walk down. song, like the whole verse is pretty much just those 2 chords. It's just like walking down and walking back up. It's like there's not really a whole lot going on there harmonically. It's just like I like the walking bass line. And I love the contrast between those. Like I just like third movement by thirds. I don't know why. I've always liked that a lot. And like this intermediate chord is like, it can be, you can kind of think of it like a G sharp minor. You can think of it like a C. It's more like a G sharp minor. But I'm almost thinking more like I'm playing the key, because like in all 3 of the chords I have these. So like you end up with like the A with the sharp 4. So like if you were to like do like a harmonic analysis, it would look almost more complicated than it really is. Like it's really not that complicated. If there's any lesson in that particular thing for someone who's like, I don't know, that's not like the greatest chord progression or anything. Like honestly, there's not really much to it. I mean, really, I think that's a big thing that you learn as a composer or songwriter, is that like, I think when you're first starting, like it's easy to get wrapped up in these like really clever, like this really clever stuff. I know that was my biggest problem when I was younger. And I really think it was a problem. I don't think it really helped me very much. Like I was always trying to like do something smarter and more clever and more sophisticated than I necessarily like how do I put this? Like I was always self-conscious that the stuff I was writing was not clever enough. It wasn't smart enough. It wasn't new enough. It wasn't unique enough. I got really wrapped up in my insecurity about that. And because of that, it made writing a lot harder, because I would only finish an idea if it seemed like it was also making me look like smart or special or whatever. And I still definitely have that kind of in me. Like I'm still the same person. I still have those same insecurities, but like I think I'm a lot better at just kind of just ignoring them and understanding that that's not always what makes good music, and that's not really what is satisfying in writing music either, because a lot of times when I write a piece like that, people will find it interesting maybe, but they don't really connect with it. And I've written a lot of music, I think, that's like that, where people find it interesting but they don't really connect with it. And I've heard a lot of music like that too, you know what I mean? Like I've heard a lot of music I kind of appreciate intellectually, but I don't necessarily enjoy it on a visceral level, I guess. So I don't know. In an effort to like make more, like it's also like the more music I write, the more it becomes just like it's just like a self-expression. So you're basically like when you're coming up with chords and stuff, you want to create a tone. Like you want to set a tone. So like this, it's a lot of the same stuff going on. So I just have like the A flat on the top, walking up C minor, walking up B major. And like I like that sound of like make sheet music for your songs and sell them. That's an interesting idea. I mean, it's also like who's gonna buy it, because I don't have any fans, you know what I mean? Well, I mean, I have a couple fans, but you guys are my fans, really. But you know, Like I'm trying to get, trying to get my music out there and find its audience, you know. But I don't know. I don't know. Is this kind of thing helpful at all? Like me rambling, what I've been saying right now. Like on this, like it's just I just like the sound of this. And I like recontextualizing it with the bass note. I think it's video material. And I was talking about like how I want things to always be like kind of clever or interesting or whatever, and I try to like get away from it, but it's still like baked into everything I write in a way. Cause like this idea is like, I think the way I try to balance that is I try to keep things simple as I can. Like I used to try to make things complicated, and now I try to make it as simple as I can. So like a lot of times, even with like really simple changes, you can get, it's like this is really simple what I'm doing because my right hand's doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's just like if I took out this top note, I'm just doing this. The right hand's playing two chords. But then you recontextualize it with a different bass note. So like I start with an F, which makes this thing that maybe was C minor, now F minor. And this is B, so that just keeps the whole Lydian thing. And it just repeats that for a little bit, but then later it goes down. That's just another going down a third thing. But that's kind of an interesting note to go to because the right hand has like the D natural, and D doesn't really go with D flat. It's got the C in it too. So it's like, what do you even call that chord? I mean, it's really not that complicated though. It's just I'm just doing the same thing I was doing before. I'm just putting a funny note under it. And then that's kind of an interesting chord too, but it's the right hand's exactly the same. It's just the left hand is doing something different. And even what the left hand is doing, like how I'm getting those notes, I'm just going down minor thirds there. So like just changing the root note makes the harmony seem really sophisticated even when it's really just a simple ostinato pattern. So it's like if you were to notate that on a chart, it would probably look kind of fancy and complicated, but when you actually play it, you'd be like, oh, that's not that complicated. It's a pretty simple idea actually. But I think it's a neat idea. It's not usually how like a song is written, but like normally you go like, you do like a 1 and then a 4, then a 5, or so it's not that kind of thing. And I still wrote a song out of it, so that kind of appeals to my like need to seem clever all the time, or to do something kind of different. And but at the same time, I kind of got like a authentic song out of it because I felt like the music created like a certain vibe that I kind of I was connecting with. And then I added lyrics to it that come from real events that happened in my life and a real friendship I had that was really important to me. And because of that, the song has a lot of personal meaning to me. I don't really honestly even think about the chords, really. Like I see the chords as just, they create this mood. And the mood is like more important than what you call the chords. You know what I mean? So, and that's the thing. Like, and I think everyone's different too. Like you kind of like when you're making art, I think you have to wrestle with your insecurities, And it's not that you have to necessarily rise above them. I don't think that's the case. It's just what, as you struggle to create and create stuff that you find meaningful, and hopefully also that will help you connect with others, like you, like everything you end up making reflects that thought process and kind of what you went through. So some people are more formulaic or more like intellectual. Some people are more just like purely emotional and kind of, they don't want to think about anything. I think I think both those approaches are totally valid. I think I'm one of the strange ones who kind of does. I mean, I think everyone does a little of both, really, honestly. If we're being totally honest, because I think even the really raw kind of just feel it man types are they kind of have their own sort of systems. They have like their own language for kind of understanding what they're doing. It's just not the same language the rest of us are speaking. But yeah, I don't know. You kind of have to find your own balance in a way, and I think I've gotten better at that over the years, and just also more. I wrote a lot of stuff that kind of scratched that itch of like, oh, this is interesting, oh, this is unique, oh, this is challenging. And the more I've done that, the more I've been able to kind of relax and just kind of write, just write. Like it's not even, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you're just writing. Like it's not even really about anything. You're just writing. Like just like you just go for a walk. You know what I mean? It's like you're not always trying to accomplish something. You know. And I kind of feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's this distant future where I can just write, and it doesn't even have to be about anything. It's just about writing, I guess. And I think all writing to some extent has that, but when you are composing, you'll like find different parts of yourself are kind of like, this is gonna sound sort of dramatic, but they're kind of like screaming out for an outlet. So, I think as you feed those things, it becomes more personally satisfying. It can kind of, I don't know. Me now writing compared to me 15 years ago is like, I'm much more I'm much more focused on just like, I have an idea in mind, or I have like a goal in mind. I'm much more okay with just like having a goal and like going for it. I think I think when I was younger, it was low. It was like I was always so like bogged down with this like intense insecurity. It was like way more miserable. Like writing was way harder. Like now it's not that hard to sit down and write. But being a musician is still just as hard. But it's just different things on my mind. And fortunately, like the writing part is not as big a deal to me, because I've already wrestled with, like, if I didn't struggle, I wouldn't have any like equanimity about it now. Like I have, in that I just mean as a relative term. Like I feel a lot better about myself as a composer, I guess, on a personal level. But also, it's made me no money, and I have no success. I don't really have any. I have very few fans. You know what I mean? So in a way, I'm still very much just like just some failure, just some loser, just some guy. But just on the personal level of like, oh, how do I make this kind of thing? Can I do this? And like thinking I can't do anything, like I kind of got over that. Like I feel a lot more competent about creating the kind of music I want to hear, I guess. Anyway, and okay, I've been rambling a ton, but I do want to just summarize all that, just to say that I think the biggest piece of compositional advice I can give to anyone is just to keep doing it, to try to answer your own questions as best as you can, and just to have faith that as you engage with the process, you will eventually feel more competent, and you will do things that make you feel more fulfilled and satisfied and competent and all that. What's the point even correcting his self-deprecation? Basically, it carries no weight from an idiot. What does that mean, dude? You're saying you think you wanted to say something to me, but you think I'm not going to take it seriously? Mr. Leakey, come on. You're not an idiot, sir. I've been rambling much today. Honestly, I'm like pretty like burnt out today. But I need to practice some vocals. I couldn't even sing yesterday. I sang on stream a little bit, but then when I went to record, like I couldn't sing any high notes, and so I just like figured out. I just sifted through old takes and found some decent old takes. Got progress on that front, but the greatest wisdoms, but what's even the point of wisdoms? Yeah, good question. What's even the point in wisdoms, right? You are such a pretty girl. I wish there was some way I could make you want me. I'm just some boring guy. Doesn't matter how I try. Lacking something you need. You just need your heart to sleep. You're a joy to those you meet. I'm the reason people leave. You are birds erupt in song. I'm a cat sleep all day long. I'm not enough for you. You just need your heart to sing. Don't need to waste your time on pretty girls. The pretty girls need nothing from you. They'll just break your heart and leave. They don't care about your dreams. They'll steal them from you. Spoiled girls get everything they want. You are such a pretty girl. I wish you would come and give my life some meaning. Just say you need me. I'm just some boring freak. Doesn't matter what I seek. I'm not enough for you. You just need your heart to sing. Don't need to waste your time on pretty girls. The pretty girls need nothing from you. They'll just break your heart and leave. Don't care about your dreams. They'll steal them from you. Spoiled girls get everything they want. Your heart to sing. Don't need to waste your time on pretty girls. Pretty girls need nothing from you. They'll just break your heart and leave. Don't care about your dreams. They'll steal them from you. Spoiled girls get everything they want. So leave. You set the tone, though you know you never bother. You're all alone, yet you choose to die a martyr. Oh shit. You took it home. It hurts to know. What am I? Dude, I shouldn't. I think I know the lyrics. I think I'm looking at the lyrics is like confusing me. You set the tone, though you know you never bother. You're all alone, yet you choose to die a martyr. You took it home. It hurts to know you lost your father. No sticks and stones might fade, the knife will last much longer. True, it stuck with you. Sympathy eludes me. Drama film, kerosene. What's the point in correct lyrics? There is none. It's just like total narcissism, dude. Chose to die a martyr. You worked for art, but if you lived for art, you'd have conquered like a Spartan. If you worked so hard just to turn into a pizza, sauce from the heart, shredded cheese, black olive, slice of you. And that train came through. Sympathy eludes me. Drama film, kerosene, symphony. Talk to me in the chair, watching burn. Did you smile today? Did you laugh and play? Did you dream about the kind of life that you like to create? Did you fall in love? And did your heart break? You deserve every kind of love, all the love you can take. Did you look for God? Then what did he say? Did you know there is a kingdom in your heart that is vast and great? Did you smile today? Did you laugh and play? You're gonna die someday, so don't you fucking wait. Don't you fucking wait. time he saw Mr. York live in concert, he said, "This is what you get when you forget." All right, I can't remember that part. Forget, that's funny. Oh, instead of when you mess with us. Okay, I get it now, I think. There's no way he forgot Karma Police lyrics, really? I wonder if he was just fucking with y'all. And like he just gets bored. Yeah. He was just messing around. Alright. Yeah, I know they don't take their early stuff seriously, but even so, they must have performed Karma Police like a million times. I would think they would have at least, because OK Computer was their first album that was really like, kind of seemed to separate Radiohead from other artists. I would think they would be proud of that one. But I don't know. I'm not in the band. I don't know what the hell they feel. But yeah, OK Computer is, yeah, that was definitely like that was where they basically became Radiohead. I mean, they're Pablo Honey and the Bends are really good albums too, but he flubbed the verse badly and he said on chorus. Oh, I see. Okay, interesting. Well, I'm sure it's possible. If you're, he's probably shit. Who knows how many Radiohead songs there are? They got, man, they have so many albums. I'm sure they have well over 100 songs, and who knows all the songs they've written that they don't like keep up or didn't record, or plus he does like 2 or 3 other projects at a time. He used to do Atoms for Peace, and he did his solo project, and he's doing the Smile now. Although that might be there might just not be Radiohead anymore. Do I follow the Smile? I listened to that first album they put out. I don't know if they put out one since then. It was okay. I wasn't like crazy about it. He actually said in an interview with Rolling Stone that Johnny Greenwood does microtonal scales, and that he's been doing like microtonal vocal warm-ups. But I don't know if they've started using any of that stuff or not, or if they even plan on it. But they've definitely like have been messing with microtonal stuff. They have a third album. Damn, I did not know. I only knew about the first one. I feel like that wasn't that long ago. Well, I guess that's good then. That means they've been putting out music. I'll have to check out the new one. I mean, Radiohead's one of my favorite bands, but I kind of feel like those guys are, it kind of seems like they're kind of over the peak, I mean, they had an amazing run. I mean, they don't have one bad album, in my opinion. Like I even like the Bends, not just for Creep. Like I like that whole album. It's pretty decent. It's not like on my top 10 or anything, but it's a good album. And then, or Pablo Honey. I mean, the Bends is pretty good, but I feel the same way about the Bends. I even like Pablo Honey, is what I meant to say. The Smile is like fresh Radiohead. Oh, that's crazy. That's kind of hard to believe. I don't know. I thought Moonshaped Pool was interesting, but kind of like it had 2 really good songs. I felt the same way about that other one, whatchamacallit, the one with the 2 drummers on it. Yeah, it seemed like they really were kind of like getting kind of groggy and like hyper serious, like too orchestral or something. Although I think the best stuff they put out on that Moonshaped Pool was that Daydreamer or whatever it's called, and that other one, the 2 singles I thought were the best songs on there. And they did like the worst version of True Love Waits for their official release. Like the original True Love Waits The acoustic version from early Radiohead is like just amazing. I'm glad that there's that live version out there because that's the song. That one they put out on Moon-Shaped Pool sucked. It's like one of their worst songs. But it was an interesting album though. It was better I thought than the one before that, the one with that Lotus song or whatever. But yeah, they had a couple albums where I just thought they had like too good. AMSP version? What does that mean? King of Limbs? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of King of Limbs. I think the people who were like really into experimental stuff like that one more. That's one of my least favorites. I think I like King of Limbs less than Pablo Honey. Because I think the best song on Pablo Honey is better than the best song on King of Limbs. Although the best song on King of Limbs is pretty good. Moon-Shaped Pool. Well, I had heard the Moon-Shaped Pool version, I think. Actually, I'm not sure when I put that cover out. It was definitely based on the original. Well, I don't know. I haven't listened to that cover in a long time. I think I tried to cover it a couple times, so I don't really remember how I did the one on piano. All right. Not getting nothing done today. Maybe I need to get like really strict when I stream. Less chit chat. Time to work. Alright, so here's the last song off my first album that I have to relearn. I listened back to it earlier today, so maybe I can play through it. We'll see. to be alone. Nice dreams. Don't bore me to sleep. I dreamed I was driving off a cliff, but I woke up before I could make it. Oh shit. I want the sun to kiss my face. Like I'm a child again. Dude, I'm doing this wrong. I have the pacing on this wrong. It's like, I want the sun to kiss my face. Like I'm a child again. I want the wind to kiss my... Wait, I want the wind to comb my hair. Whisper in my ear. Dude, what the fuck? This is not how it goes. The way I'm playing it, it's gonna take like 45 minutes. I don't know how the lyrics go. Like, I know the melodies, I don't know when they go. The sun to kiss my face. Like I'm a child again. Dude, how does this shit go? To kiss. Okay, I gotta like figure out the ending there. I don't know what I'm doing wrong there, but it's definitely not that. That's not what it's supposed to be. Okay, I'm gonna try this song again. Your number one is what the hell is that? Then the King of Limbs. In Rainbows. Moon-shaped pool. Amnesiac. Okay. Computer. Kid A. The Benz. Polo Honey. What is Hail to the Thief. Oh. Interesting. In Rainbows is my favorite. And then I think Okay Computer. Then probably Hail to the Thief. Then probably Amnesiac. Kid A. Moon-shaped pool. The Benz. Polo Honey. But yeah, In Rainbows I think is definitely their best, but they have so many great albums, so That's the one you'd most rather listen to on repeat forever. That's the one I listened to on repeat for like a year. Yeah. I don't know. It was really cool because like when that album came out, they like I was already a big Radiohead fan, and I was like so hungry for an album because I think they went like 5 years or something before they released it, and like Hail of the Thief I believe was the one before that one, and like basically like in their album progression, the first two albums were kind of more standard fare, kind of poppier rock pop, kind of softer kind of rock pop. And then OK Computer was like this really compelling experimental album that was really kind of like, merging all these like merging like what they were doing with like all this electronic music in kind of subtle and interesting ways. And then they went like off the deep end in the electronic stuff with Kid A, which was like a really unexpected. Now that was already out when I started listening to them, and so was Amnesiac. But I like went back and listened to all their albums, and Kid A and Amnesiac are basically the same album. I think they actually recorded them at the same time. And Amnesiac was kind of like the B sides of Kid A, more or less. Like Kid A had a better flow to it and all that, but Amnesiac had a lot of really cool ideas that they still wanted to put out on an official release. I think that's how it went. And then Hail of the Thief was like almost like they were kind of going back to what they were doing. They got more to like a rock band or whatever. And so they went a long time without putting out an album, and you just they had that with their album progression, like you had no idea what they were gonna do. They had already like subverted expectation and kind of like reinvented themselves so many times. And it was like, well, the last album they didn't really do anything that new. They kind of like took all the experimental stuff they were doing and sort of like added it into a more traditional thing. Well, they did do some new stuff on Hail of the Thief, to be fair. Like they did more like jazzy stuff. And, some of their best songs. What was Pyramid Song was on Amnesiac, actually? Yeah, Pyramid Song is one of their best songs. But yeah, when In Rainbows came out, I think it was like really well, first of all, when they released it, they gave it away for free. And this was after Napster, but like no one had really. I'm not saying no one had ever given out music for free. Obviously, like people, you'd go walk the streets in Atlanta, and like rappers would like give you their albums and stuff. Not just in Atlanta, in Savannah too. Like, you get free music everywhere. But this was like a major label artist putting their music online, and pay what you want. They were just like, give us however much money you think this deserves. And that was something I don't think anyone was really doing. Maybe some smaller artists have been doing it, but not that I had heard of. And yeah, they basically did Bandcamp before Bandcamp. And that kind of set the tone with the album, where it was like, the album was so beautiful and such a masterwork where, you kind of had to think like, it's almost like they were like, well, this is so good, we should just give it away. You know what I mean? Obviously, they ended up making a killing off of it, I'm sure. But and I ended up buying a physical copy of it too. But yeah, I mean, it was just they had already done so much, you didn't really know what they were gonna do next. Like, as a Radiohead fan, you're like hungry for music, but at the same time, it's like, well, what else can they even do? And then In Rainbows was just so different. Like, I don't really know what they did differently even. Like, I guess they got more. They kind of went back to their roots in a way, but they just latched onto this tone and this feeling, which was like kind of like in their music before, but they like distilled it to the essence and just like really just like sat in that feeling. And the whole album is just like flows like probably better than almost any album I've ever heard. Yeah, everything's just like perfect. And it's so emotional too, and it's so raw. I think it's the rawest Radiohead album, and I don't know, it's like super chill but very like powerful and like impassioned at the same time. It's like a strange, I don't know. It's really hard to even describe it, but that is, if I had to choose like a favorite album, it might be that one. It's definitely like top 2. It's like a top 2. Moonshaped Pools of Ross, you think? You really think so? I think they kind of get into that on the first couple tracks, but they sort of like, I don't know, I felt like Moonshaped Pool was like really like, you could tell they put a lot of money into it. It was like a fancy production, you know what I mean? Like you could tell there was like all kinds of weird like panning stuff going on, and like they had all the orchestral stuff, and it didn't, at that point, that it doesn't feel like a band at all anymore. It felt like a really like crazy production to me. I mean, I guess there's moments where it's just a band, but it's just like in this whole like, I don't know. I did like that album, but it's not one that really stuck with me. Alright, now I'm gonna try to do this song. The Dark Side of In Rainbows, interesting. These songs suck.
Taken can't be claimed. Even great ideas are replaced when it's just a temporary phase. You can watch it change. Best things in life are free. I can see the beauty surrounding me. It's not mine, though it simply floats is not a sign. I cannot possess something that dies. There's nothing to achieve when you're asleep, nothing to covet inside a dream.
What the hell, dude?
It's not ours. Everything that is can be enjoyed. It is in our hearts that we decide. You can love or you can fear the ride. You enjoy the ride. Wait to heaven, wait to be myself. Don't know who I am, don't know what I have to share. I tremble inside, I'm so uncertain. How can you be sure of anything? As the world flickers and flakes and you can't tell it's real, just a projection of your lonely mind. I wanna love you, I wanna trust you. How can there be two? How can there be? comfort state of mind I take for granted. The comfort of your gentle kiss. My chest is rubbed and I take for granted. Easily your love can be dismissed. You cannot promise me another day. It just doesn't work that way. You must not be someone acquainted with mortality. Well, it's just a simple thing. You cannot stay. Into your eyes, just a vapid stain. Save me from the burden I'm needing you again. I'm mad and shame, 'cause I can't tell for you the same. Your heart is pure, your mind is sane. When you are near me, free me from this pain. Please save me before I save myself. Sorry, you're my everything. You're all I need. Take blood you sacrifice. It's worth the risk to make you smile. Suddenly I don't know what's the right thing. eternity to leave this out.
Wait, is that the right word?
I have one muse, it's forever craving you. Sell me my own dream. That's all I need. Take a dive, you trip fan. I'm not sure, dude, I'm not sure. Not sure.
What the fuck?
Take a dive, you trip fan. Not sure how deep we're going.
Ah! Dude, I had this like the last 3 times. It's so weird. It's like I left my muscle memory. It's okay, thanks. Oh, wait.
I know that you're afraid of what people think and say, but keeping up appearances will make anyone change. Some truths are bothersome and difficult to grasp. Who wouldn't settle for a lie? Then truth will chew on you and fill you up with thoughts. I'd rather have my peace of mind. There's not a night that needs a day. Well, I'm the sun, I'll lead the way. Take my hand and we can let the light through. You might be alright. Wait, that's not right. You might seem alright. There's one thing that I'll never do is to be a happy slave like you. I stay up all night, analyzing feelings through a microscope and bleeding. You
Dude, that's not right. Ah, I'm so fucking tired, dude.
You might seem alright. There's one thing that I'll never do is to be a happy slave like you. I stay up all night, analyzing feelings through a microscope and bleeding out. You just keep it light. You think ordinary is only deep down, but now you're boring. take second sight to live life and know you're satisfied. So wait in line and second you with something you've got. It's one life, something you still have to do before your time is up. Spirit eyes. It's one life. It's one life. You spend all your time working, paying taxes, cutting grass and shredding faces. You saved every day. Benefits you on the couch. Our days what means you're no such. We know deep inside you're still disturbed, and we have to wonder why. Still can't sleep, it's on you. It's all I've got. It's one life. Pray to God it comes to you before your time is up. Spirit eyes. It's one life. It's one life. Still can't sleep, it's on you. It's something you've got. It's one life. It's one life. It's one life. You pray to God it comes to you. It's something you still have to do before your time is up. Spirit eyes. It's one life. It's one life. One day I'll actually come up with a song with that. Alright, that's probably enough vocal practice, I guess. I'll do a little Moonlight. What time is it? What time is it? Shit. 41. What if I do this? Gets to start kind of early compared to yesterday. I'm gonna take 5 to stretch. And then I'll practice Moonlight for a little bit. I don't know how long. I'll go for some amount of time.
Excellent job, Mr. Dorn. Thank you, thank you. Alright, now for some Beethoven. was 127. I'll try 147. Oh man, that's not good. Let's try 137. I'll do one more little part. Okay, I'll be back in a few hours. Or not a few hours, like an hour and a half. Thanks for checking out the stream. Oh yeah, I'll be back later. No piano stream tomorrow. No piano tomorrow. No music tomorrow. I might do some music, but not on stream. Anyway, see y'all later.